Good morning. I hope you had a great weekend. Good morning. Good morning, Blair. Good morning, Barrett. Good morning, Sam. Make sure when you guys are coming in, you are putting your backpacks away in your cubbies and making sure they're not on the floor, because I don't want to trip over them and I don't want any of you guys tripping over them. So I'm going to walk around and make sure there's no backpacks on the floor. They should be put up in your cubbies. Now, also remember, you should be going to your desk after you put your backpacks away with a voice level 0 and getting out your agenda. So go ahead and do that for me. So now that you guys have put your backpacks away, I want to start class by doing a read aloud of a book. So now that we have our agendas out, I want to go ahead and look over our agenda for today. So it says, today we will read Lemons and Lemonade. We will discuss on our vocab words from the story. We will watch a vocabulary video. We will practice supply and demand, which we'll learn about today. We will do a mini auction, and then we'll have an exit slip. So now if you look at the materials needed for today, all it says that you need to start class out with is a pencil. So make sure everybody has a pencil out on their desk. I should see a pencil out. Okay, now let's look at today's learning objective. So it says, I can describe the relationship between supply and demand. Now we are going to learn about supply and demand today, starting out by watching a read aloud video of a book called Lemons and Lemonade. This book will have a lot of different terminology in it that we will discuss after the video, but I want you to start thinking about what you think those words might mean by using the context around the story that we read today. So I expect you that when I turn on the read aloud that you're paying attention and listening to the story, because the activities we do in class today will follow along with the story. So everybody should have nothing out on their desk except a pencil, and our heads should be off our desk. And then I will start the book called Lemons and Lemonade.
It was the third week of the summer vacation, and Carly was bored, hot, and thirsty. Really thirsty. A tall glass of lemonade would really hit the spot. That's it, she exclaimed. I'll open a lemonade stand. I'll be rich. Soon, Carly was in business. She had a pitcher of lemonade, a cooler filled with ice, and a stack of plastic cups. All of your supplies are called capital, Mom said. Capital is the money or goods you use to start and run a business. Carly's first customer was Miss Crane from next door. Delicious, dear, she said. Next came the boy who mowed Miss Smith's lawn. He was so thirsty he bought 2 lemonades. Josh and Sean, brothers from across the street, sat with Carly for a while. Together they sold lemonade to a woman out for a jog, a couple of kids on bikes, and a babysitter pulling a toddler in a wagon. At supper time, Carly ran into the house. Look at all this money, she said. Mom smiled. You did great. That money is called your gross profit. Gross, said Carly. I don't think so. Gross just means total, Mom explained. But remember, out of that money, you still need to pay for the cost of the lemonade, cups, and ice. Those are your expenses. Well, I'll bet there will be some money left, Carly said. The money you have left is called your net profit, Mom said. That night, Carly made a new sign. I see you've raised your price, Mom noted. You're testing the market, seeing how much people are willing to pay. Exactly, said Carly. I can't wait for tomorrow. Carly set up her lemonade stand early the next day. The garage sale was going on down the street, and people were everywhere. Business was fantastic. Carly was completely sold out by early afternoon. When people want what you're selling, that's called demand, Mom said. Can we go to the store and buy lots more lemonade? Carly begged. I don't want to run out again tomorrow. The next morning was cool and windy. The garage sale was over. Hardly anyone was around, and those who were didn't want cold lemonade. There's no demand today, Carly complained to Mom. Nope, Mom said. It's tough to balance the supply of a product with the demand for it. Carly nodded. She decided to close up shop. She wanted a break from the lemonade business. On the next hot day, Carly set up her lemonade stand again. No sooner had she put out her sign when she saw Josh and Sean across the street. They had set up their own stand. All of Carly's regular customers were there. Mom brought Carly a fruit snack. I guess you don't have a monopoly anymore, she said. This isn't a game, Mom. I mean, your business isn't the only one anymore, Mom said. You have competition. People have more choice. Carly opened her fruit snacks and had a great idea. Be right back, she said. Carly returned with a bowl of fruit snacks and a new sign. You've cut your lemonade price to be more competitive, and by offering a new product, you've expanded your business. Nice going, Mom said. Business started picking up. Carly felt proud when she looked at the coins in her basket. Later that afternoon, Carly was surprised to see Josh and Sean walking toward her. We were wondering if you'd like to be business partners, Josh said. We have this friend who lives across the street from the park, Sean added. There's a softball game going on today. Maybe we could go there together. Carly thought about all the thirsty, hungry people at the park. It would be fun to work with her friends, too. Great idea, she exclaimed. Let's do it. We'll be rich.
Now that we read the book, there were a lot of vocabulary words in the book that we need to discuss. So let's do a little think, pair, share activity about the different vocabulary words. So let's start with supply. Now, I want you to think individually about what you think supply means. So go ahead and think. Now, pair up with your shoulder partner and discuss what you think the word supply means. Alright, who would like to share out what they think the word supply means? Okay, Joe. What do you think the word supply means? You think it means items? Why do you think that? Because when you think of certain items, you think of having a lot of supplies. Okay, I get that. Anybody else? Alright, good job. So let's write down up here. So look at this, look at the board here. Supply is the total amount of a good or service. So when we think about supplies and a good or service, can anybody tell me what they think a good or service is? I'm going to write down a few examples up here. So a good is things that people make or grow. So an example of this would be like a video game console. The PS5 will be coming out in December. So that would be a good that somebody made. Or maybe apples, because people grow apples. So that would be something people make or grow. So now let's talk about a service. So when we think of a service, what do we think about? Maybe like something that people do. So yeah, a service is work that people do for other people. So an example of a service would be a hair salon. Someone is behind you cutting your hair, right? They're servicing. They're doing a service for you. Or maybe cleaning a house, or restaurants. When you go out to a restaurant, you have a server, right? They come get your drinks. That's a type of service. Good. So now let's think about what demand means. So go ahead and think individually about what you think demand means. Alright, now go ahead and pair up with your shoulder partner again and try to discuss what you think a demand means. Can anybody tell me, share out loud, raise their hand with a raised hand, what they think demand means? Let's see. Let's go with Blair. What do you think demand means? Okay, maybe like a lot of people wanting an item. Good job! So, demand is the total amount of a good or service the customer in the market will buy at a certain price. So let's take out the word market here. Market was also in the Lemons and Lemonade book we just read. So a market is an opportunity for selling a product. So, like I said, a demand is the total amount of a good or service the customers in the market will buy at a certain price. So when you think about this, when a supply is low, the demand is going to be high. So prices will go up. Now, this could lead to a term called scarcity. Now, this is just something extra that you don't really need to know about, but it is good to know. So scarcity is a shortage in items. So, for example, right now, going on in the real world, what is scarce right now? We have this huge thing going on right now called the coronavirus, right? And face mask, and they're calling it PPE, personal protection equipment. I believe that's what it's called. Anyways, we are having a shortage on like toilet paper on the shelves and hand sanitizer and Clorox wipes. So that would be an example of scarcity because the supply is low and a lot of people are scared and want those items. So the demand is high and therefore the prices are going up. Now let's look at another example. When the supply is high and demand is low, the prices will go down. So again, say we have an example of when the supply is high. So say I have Hershey's chocolate bars. I have tons of Hershey's chocolate bars. I can find it at any store I want to, and I just really want one, and they're at every store. So I'm the only one that really wants one right now. So the demand is going to be lower. So the price was only like $1, and the price went down because not many people are wanting a chocolate bar right now. So that would be an example of when supply is high, because there's a lot of chocolate bars everywhere, and the demand is low. So now that we have discussed this a little bit, and we know that supply is the total amount of a good or service, and that a good is things that people make or grow, like video games would be something someone made, or an apple is something that they grew, and a service would be like a hair salon. It is a work that people do for other people. And now you take demand, and demand is the total amount of a good or service that the customer in the market will buy at a certain price. So now we know the relationship that that supply and demand goes hand in hand, right? Because, like I said with the examples, when supply is low and the demand is high, prices will go up. So supply and demand determine different prices of things. And so now that we just discussed this, let's watch a little flowcabulary video. It's like a song, and it'll discuss these terms a little bit better to get in your head. So let's go ahead and watch the video. Now, before I start this video, I want to remind you, you better keep your heads up off your desk for me and make sure that you're paying attention to the video, because this will help you with the next activity that we do after we watch this video. So I want to make sure everybody's heads are off the desk and your eyes are up here on the smart board. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start the video.
Alright. Have you ever noticed how Halloween candy is always on sale the week after Halloween? Or like when there's a cool new thing that everyone wants, sometimes it's really expensive? Why is that? It's because of supply and demand. Here, let me explain. Yeah, you're a consumer. You like to buy things like video games, sneakers, and ice cream. These things people make or grow, they're called goods, a term that you need to know. When people work for others, it's called a service, like a doctor or bus driver, for instance. But goods and services don't fall from the sky. The amount available for sale, that's called supply. And demand is how much of a service or good people want to buy, okay? That's understood? Like, when Halloween is coming up, you go to the store to buy peanut butter cups. If there's a lot of candy available, the supply is high. But what if there's not that much candy in sight? In that case, the supply is low. Seems like everyone wants candy, so that means the demand is high. Though, if they don't want to buy candy, the demand would be low. Now, we understand the flow and the law of supply and demand. It goes,
how much is available? That's supply and demand. How much people want to buy? Supply and demand work hand in hand to raise and lower the price of things. Understand how much is available? That's supply and demand. How much people want to buy? Supply and demand work hand in hand to raise and lower the price of things. Understand?
It's the day before Halloween, lots of trick-or-treaters. You need to go shopping for all the candy eaters. The store is crowded and everyone has masks. In the candy aisle, you look at the price and gasp. Peanut butter cups are $8 a bag. Normally, they cost less than half. Why is the candy so expensive? Supply and demand are teaching us a lesson. Cause everyone wants bags of candy to buy. And that means the demand is high. Lots of people are buying candy. The store is selling out. The supply is getting low. So, without a doubt, the candy is harder to find. Now you're willing to pay more so the store can raise the price. When the demand is high and the supply is low, the price of a good or service goes up, you know? But what happens when the ghouls and goblins go away? After Halloween, the demand for candy isn't great. Fewer people want to buy, so the candy piles up. Now the supply is high, and you know what? They lower the price to get you to buy now. When supply is high and demand is low, the price goes down. So thanks to supply and demand, cheap bags of candy are in both of my hands. Yeah.
How much is available? That's supply and demand. How much people want to buy? Supply and demand work hand in hand to raise and lower the price of things. Understand how much is available? That's supply and demand. How much people want to buy? Supply and demand work hand in hand to raise and lower the price of things. Understand?
So now that we watched the vocabulary video, I want to do a little activity to help further our knowledge about supply and demand. So I'm going to go ahead and pass out this activity sheet to everybody. Let's start by reading the directions. It says, read each statement below, then circle low or high to describe the supply and the demand. Predict what will happen to the price. So what we're going to do is we'll do number 1 together, and then we'll work on, you individually will work on number 2, and then we'll go over it, and then you'll work on number 3, and then we'll go over it. So let's start with number 1 and do this together, so that way you have a model to go back and refer to. So it says, this winter is not as cold as past winters. A clothing store ordered a lot of heavy winter coats to sell, but people are not as interested in buying winter coats this year. So the first thing you're going to do is it asks, the supply of winter coats is low/high. So who knows the answer to here? Is the supply of winter coats low or high? It's high, right? Because the winter is not as cold, so people are not buying as many winter coats, right? So that means there's a lot more winter coats still on the shelf. So next it says the demand for winter coats is low/high. So who can tell me that answer? Annie. Low. Good job. Now, can you tell me why you think that's low? Right, for the same reason as this is high. It works together, right? The supply of winter coats is high, so that means the demand for winter coats is low. Good job. So now, this last part, it says, the price of winter coats will blank because blank. So let's think about this. The price of winter coats, if the supply is high and the demand is low, that means that the price will go down, right? Think back to the anchor chart that I made. Now, it'll go down because there are a lot of winter coats, so the supply is high, right? There are a lot of winter coats because the supply is high. All right. And because of this, not many people want to buy them. So that means, this means the demand is low. So because of this, the store will lower the price to get people to buy coats, right? And we can write that here if we want to. So the store will lower the price, and I'll write under this line here, will lower the price to get people to buy coats. All right, so now that we did that one together, go ahead and try number 2 for me. So number 2, it says, a new model of a scooter comes out. A store that sells the scooters will have a lot of old models on the shelves. Not many people want to buy the old model. So you're going to tell me whether the supply of the old scooter model is low or high, the demand for the old scooter model is low or high, and you're going to tell me the price of the old scooter model will either go up or go down, and you're going to tell me why. So go ahead and take a few minutes to fill that out for me. Okay. So, who can tell me number 1? Is it low or high? Is the supply low or high? It's high, right? Good job. So, then what's that mean for the demand? The demand is low. So that means the price of the old scooter model will what? Well, if the supply is high and the demand is really low, not many people want the old scooter model, that means the price is going to what? It's going to go down. And can someone tell me why the price is going to go down? Right, because there are a lot of old scooters on the shelf, so the supply is high and not many people want to buy them, so that means the demand is low. So therefore, the store will lower the price to get people to buy the old scooters, just like the first example here. Good job. So go ahead and try number 3 for me. And I'll go ahead and read number 3. It says, before Valentine's Day, everyone wants to buy chocolate hearts. Chocolate hearts are selling out quickly. The supply of chocolate hearts is what? Low or high? The demand for chocolate hearts is low or high. Circle one of them. And you're going to tell me whether the price of chocolate hearts will go up or go down, and you're going to tell me why.
using your knowledge about supply and demand. So go ahead and do that one, and we will go over it. Go over the last one last time. Alright, so now that you've had time to do this one, who can tell me if the supply of chocolate hearts is low or high? Let's say Blake. It's low, right? Good job. So, who can tell me the demand for chocolate hearts? Is it low or is it high? Let's see here. Sam. Oh, so you think it might be high. Okay, well, let's look at this. If the supply of chocolate hearts is low, if there's not many on the shelf, what does that mean? If there's not a lot on the shelves and it's right before Valentine's Day, do you think a lot of people are going to be going to try to buy chocolate hearts? Yes, so that means that the demand, the people, are trying to buy chocolate hearts. So that means that the demand is high. Okay? So now, the price of chocolate hearts will, what? If the supply is really low and the demand is really high, that means the price of chocolate hearts will go up because there's not many on the shelf. So the ones that are, the price is going to be higher. So for our because, let's just summarize this. I'll say the chocolate hearts will be harder to find because supply is low. And everyone wants to buy them, so that means the demand is high. So people will pay more for them, so the price will go up because people will pay more for them because they're needed. So I will go ahead and write that down here. Okay. Go ahead and put your supply and demand activity sheet on the corner of your desk so that way you can refer back to it for our next activity if you need to. We are going to do a mini auction as our last activity for today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pass out some money to you. And now this will range from $1 to $20 and everybody will get the same amount. And has anybody ever heard of an auction before or know what an auction is? Anybody? Okay, so an auction is when you have an item that's up for sale. So maybe a pen like this. Maybe I want to auction off this pen. And I'm going to start it off at $1. I'm going to say this is $1 for this awesome Papermate Flare pen. So what I'm going to do is have a board that says the price. And people will start offering money for this pen. And I don't think a lot of people are going to want this pen because it's just a pen, right? So I'm going to say $1 for this pen. See if do I have any takers for $1? I'd say, is there any takers? And then somebody will say, I'll give you $1. So then somebody will give me $1 and then I'll offer it up to $2. And I'll wait 5 seconds. I'll count to 5, and if nobody bids $2, the person that bid $1 will get the pen for $1. And with this auction, you'll be able to see that there'll be certain supplies that people will be offering, and some supplies a lot of buyers will want, and so the demand will be really high, but I might only have one item. So let's go ahead, and I'll go ahead and pass out all the money to everybody. Before I begin, I want to tell you my expectations for this auction. We will have to get along with each other, and there should be no fighting because everybody will get their own time to bid on an item and a chance, and everybody will have the same amount of money. I didn't give anybody less or give anybody more money. Everybody will have the same amount of money. So there should be no arguments. And if there are, I will end the auction and nobody will be able to bid on items. Let's go ahead and begin. So I'm going to raffle off this green mechanical pencil. And let's say it has a grip on it and it's kind of used. And there's a little bit of lead left in it, and it's green. So does anybody want this? We'll say we'll start it at $1. $1 for this green pencil. It's mine. It's the teacher's pencil. Who wants the dollar pencil? Anybody? Nobody wants the dollar pencil? Okay, well, how about this? What if I make it 50 cents? Does anybody want this pencil for 50 cents? Anybody? Okay, Blake, you got it for 50 cents. Does anybody else want this pencil? I'll up it to 75 cents. Nobody? Okay, Blake, you got this pencil for 50 cents. Let's go ahead and do another item. So I only have one of these, this yummy Rice Krispie treat. And it's chocolatey drizzle flavor. It's extra large and it's really good. I only have one of these, so I'm going to start the bidding off at $5 for this Rice Krispie treat. There's only one, so one person only in this whole entire class can have this Rice Krispie treat. So let's go ahead and start this off at, say, $5. Who'll give me $5 for this Rice Krispie treat? Anybody? Anybody? Not pencil. Rice Krispie treat, right? We'll do RCT. So Rice Krispie treat, $5. Okay, you? $5? Anybody want to go $6? We'll do $6. Okay. Who wants this Rice Krispie treat for $6? 1, 2. Okay, someone wants to get me $6. Who wants to try $7? Who wants to try $7? Anybody want to try it? Okay, we got 5 seconds. Nolan, okay, you're going to give me $7? To $8. $8 for this one Rice Krispie treat. Who wants to give me $8 for this Rice Krispie treat to eat as a snack this afternoon? Okay, Blake, you'll give me $10 for this Rice Krispie treat? Okay. Anybody else want to give me money for a Rice Krispie treat? 2 seconds left. Alright, you got this Rice Krispie treat for $10. Let's do one more scenario. Okay. Let me pull out of my magic box here. What is this? I have 60 more Rice Krispie treats. I didn't have just one. I found 25 more. I just discovered them. So I'm going to auction off to the rest of these treats one at a time to each of the highest bidders. So let's see here. Look at all these I got. I'll start this off at $1. Who would like one for $1? Okay, here's one for $1. Would anybody else like one for $1? I'll give you one for $1. Would you like one for $1? Okay, how about $2 since somebody already took one for $2? Okay. You will never guess what I just discovered. A whole box of Rice Krispie treats. So now I have 60 Rice Krispie treats. That means I have a really high supply. And I don't have just one. I have a whole bunch. So let's start this off at 50 cents. Who would like another Rice Krispie treat for only 50 cents? Instead of $5 starting out, because now I have a high supply. Who would like one? 50 cents? Okay, you can get one for 50 cents. Who else would like one for 50 cents? Okay, here you go, Blake. You want another one? Okay. Okay, and who else would like one? Sam? Okay, sorry, here you go. Okay, my last item that I will have to auction off relates to something that's going on in the real world right now that I talked about earlier. This item will just be a practice round to demonstrate supply and demand because I'm going to need this item for myself because it is a big old bottle of hand sanitizer. And you know that a lot of your parents are probably looking for hand sanitizer right now along with a lot of teachers because this hand sanitizer has a really low supply right now because of the coronavirus. So there's not a lot of hand sanitizer around. So that means the demand is really high because you can't find it on the shelf and because people don't want to get sick, so they're buying hand sanitizer up. So for practice, who would want this hand sanitizer starting at, I could put this at $25, this big old bottle. Who wants to give me $25, a 20 and a 5 for this big old bottle of hand sanitizer? Okay, yeah, Sam, you want to give me $25? Who wants to give me $30? Who has $30 that they can give me for this hand sanitizer? Cody, you want to give me $30? How about $50 for this hand sanitizer? Who wants to give me $50 for this bottle of hand sanitizer? Anybody? Okay, Blair, you get it for $50. 5 more seconds. Does anybody want to top $50 for this big bottle of hand sanitizer? Alright, I think Blair ended up getting the hand sanitizer for $50. So you now should have a pretty good understanding about supply and demand. You will get to keep your treats. So all I'll need back is the money. So let me go ahead and collect the money. Keep your treats for everybody that wanted a treat. Go ahead. Keep them, and then I will take your money back. Now that I collected the money, the last thing that we are going to do for the day is an exit slip. So let me go ahead and pass an exit slip out to each and every one of you. So here you go. Here you go. Okay. Everyone have their eyes on the paper. Okay, let's read the question and the directions. So it says, read the question and answer on the lines below. Using the knowledge you have learned throughout today's activities, describe the relationship between supply and demand. Make sure to describe what supply is and what demand is and how they work together. So make sure you write on the lines below and look at that last line where it says to make sure to describe what supply is and what demand is and how they work together. That's how you get all credit, is if you answer all what the question is asking. So go ahead and put your privacy shields up now that I read the directions to you. And when you're finished, raise your hand and I will walk around and collect the exit slip. And once I get it out of your hands, go ahead and quietly, with a voice level 0, put everything away, pack up your stuff, and quietly either read a book or work on missing work until all your friends are finished around you. Okay? Go ahead and get started.